come on. Sit or stand, where would you like to be? Here are the usual startups. All right. If you have intention to do this in standing, support close to hand, fixed, stable, not going anywhere. This support can help and assist with posture, feeling more confident and moving more freely. So use it if you need it. So if you are in stand, weight even across both feet, get a comfortable distance. Feel strong and steady before you even start. Let's get off to a good start. That's the key here. Lift and lengthen, get the posture to help you to move more freely, to move more successfully. And start with the weight shifts, picking up the heels, and as and when you're ready, just pluck the feet. I say pluck because I can't think of another word that means just off the floor. Literally, that toe just plucks off the floor. And it's the ankles, feet and toes that drive that knee. Maintain the lift, steady your pace, finding your pace and your rhythm. That's what we need from these circulation boosting type movements. The rhythmical, steady, continuous. So that's the stand. Continue with that. Driving from ankles, feet and toes, keep lifted, bringing in the arm as and when you're ready. I'm going to go straight into the seat options, 2 positions in chair that you may prefer to work from. First off, into active sit. Active sit means this stuff is active, not the chair. So you're supporting your own posture. We've got loads of activity going on here through the centre, and that fixed support of the trunk allows really successful movement of the shoulders. So we're really isolating movements now, getting the shoulders moving, but this rhythmical activity will have the effect of lightly lifting the heart rate, and that's what we want from the circulation boost. So if you feel confident in this back of chair position, that's the best position for you. If you do have intention to progress to stand, take the hip walk. This in itself is a really beneficial movement for transitioning in and out of bed, in and out of chairs. And this hip walk forward will make it easier to stand. But for now, it gives us more leg room, enables us to see what's going on, to get ankles, feet and toes going. So we can remove the balance challenge of being on feet, but we can still prepare the feet for standing activities. And here we are again, pushing up the heel, plucking off the toe from the floor. I'll try and think of another. If you can think of a better word, please tell me. But it's the rhythmical activity. If you feel a bit squashed here in the hips, just take an extension every now and then just to ease that. Or you may prefer to work arms, arms on a slightly bigger march and then alternate that with heels. Or if you take a step forward, alternate that with toes. And all these movements together serve to require us to take deeper breaths. Continue with whatever sit option is for you. I'm going to keep giving myself a pebble because I'm going to add sit to stands to my tally. And it might look like this, both arms and legs together, elbows tucked in. So it's a controlled rhythmical march, and it's the range of motion we're after, not the pace, not the speed. Continue to use external support if you would like. If you would like to, I crowbarred this one in yesterday, you might want to start to add a few toe taps out on a diagonal as well. So you've got that same rhythmical activity, so you might want to start to mix and match some of those. How does that feel for you? It should feel energized, revitalized. We've literally boosted the body systems. That slight raise in the heart rate has just increased the circulatory system, increased the blood flow, increased the oxygen to all the moving parts. So now we're in a much better position, literally, to mobilise our top trio, middle trio and bottom trio. Pick up your preferred position in stand or in sit and just start to feel your way around these shoulder raises. So your range of motion, and you're looking for the comfortabilist range of motion for you. Try it up and down. And do make sure you go down, down, down. The tendency on these shoulder raises is to cut corners and just to kind of take a shrug. No. Come on, here we go. Squeeze it up and then ease it down. Squeeze, 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 all the way down. Find that full range. And as and when you're ready, bring in additional movements. So take the movement in a backward circle. Make the most of this. Again, don't cut corners. Don't just chuck them in there. Think about getting as much lift and open as you can. Bring the breath into this. So as you lift and open, maybe you can get a deeper breath and just pause after every one. We want every one of these movements to be as big and full as the one before it. All right, moving on to the second movement now. Shoulders connected to neck that connects to head. So we've prepared that support, if you like, for the head movement. Now for the head turn. Now if we say this every movement snack, any movement of the head has potential to challenge the balance. It will affect balance because of our vestibular system between our ears. So keep the chin level. That will help control that to some degree. Pause in the middle. If your head was punctuation, it'd be a full stop or a comma, and then ease the other way. Can you feel a difference in movement? Me personally, I can. I've got less movement on that side for whatever reason. Who knows? So I'm always more mindful in one direction than the other. That might be the same for you. When you do these in stand, nothing else should move. Really solid support underneath. And also the same in sit. So lift high up on the sit bones and make the most of those head turns. Now these movements are already in your day somewhere. We need to turn our head to see where we're going. We need to shift and move shoulders to get dressed, to wash, to lift, to pick up stuff. It's all in there. Here in the movement snacks, hopefully it feels good to know you're contributing to maintaining movement. Here we go. Third one is the chin tuck. The head ease, squeeze backwards. So imagine you've got a pillow or a soft surface behind your head. Lift and lengthen through and ease the head back. When you turn sideways, you can see exactly what that's doing here. There. So the feeling, the sensation is that you're giving yourself a double chin. Why are we doing this? Because it's part of the range of motion of the neck, and the head position really contributes to our overall posture position because the head is very heavy. So over time, our habitual postures tend to be flexed and draw the head forward, which then contribute to shoulder movement, to breathing, to eating and to balance. So ease in that back, just feel your way around and just maintain this mobility in perhaps this lesser known movement. All right, that's the top three. We call that the top trio. Time to crowbar in a bit more cert boost. Here we go again. So we're keeping that slightly lightly elevated heart rate ticking over, because when we move more, muscles need more oxygen. Obviously the oxygen is in the blood, so we get this increase in heart rate. And this is usual, this is normal, this is what we want. And we can control that with the size and the pace of our movements. So you should just feel the need to take a couple of deeper breaths. We're not looking to be breathless or out of breath. You can control this. Your pace and range of movements will have a direct influence on your heart rate and your breathing. Ready? Middle trio. Trunk trio, as we call it. I'm going to give the sit options first. If you know what's coming in stand, carry on, of course. We're slightly forward in chair, if that's comfortable for you, or you may be way back here in the back of the chair. Doesn't matter. Lift tall, high up on the sit bones. We're going to take the side bends first. So lift from the centre. You might want to put the arms here to just ease that, get them out of the way so you can ease down and back up without hindrance from the chair. And again, we've got this pause in the middle, can you see? As you take the side bend, the buttocks don't move. Keep those anchored. If you are going to come up to stand, or you're working on your standing activities, hip walk forward. You might want to bring in that arm to add the kind of functionality to that, if you like, or you might want to use the arm of the chair. Continue with that if you're in sit. Here's the stand prompts, wider stance. Any trunk or head movement may challenge the balance, so this wider stance sets us up for successful, bigger ranges of motion, because that's what we're after here in the movement stack. So in my setup here, I've got support either side. You may prefer to have the support in front of you. Key points here, you're only going sideways. The hips aren't moving forward or back. You're not thrusting, you're not piking. There and back. And can you feel that lift activates? You might want to put in an extra little bit of tummy squeeze. So it's like an up and an over and a back and a little release, and then an up and an over, for example. Again, all in there. These movements are here in your day already. Bending, reaching, grabbing, picking up stuff. Here we're looking to optimise the support and the moving parts. Second movement of the trunk trio is the turn. In stand, as always, slightly wider stance. Can you feel a bit of activity in your thighs? If you just take the knees off the lock, turn sideways to see, it's very slight. Knees off the lock, and this helps with the pelvic position here, and it activates the thighs, so you'll have a little bit of tension in the thighs here, like a good thriller. That means when I use my external support here, I can slide around, slide the hand to keep contact, the hips stay forward, and I'm just finding this trunk movement. As I've been saying in these past few days, if you imagine your sternum and your nose as your midpoint, two corners of the room here, and you're turning the sternum and the nose to the corners of the room, there. That's the movement, and the hips don't move. If you have the support in front of you, you may feel that you can add an extra head turn on that there, so it becomes perhaps a little bit more functional as well. Use this supportlet to slide, 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 slide. This support can give the brain information. That contact with the support might allow you to go a little bit further than perhaps you thought you could. So use this. It's like a piece of valuable equipment to improve how we move. If it gives us more confidence to have a go at moving a bit further, it's done a job. Here in sit, same, anchor the buttocks. Do you want to do an extra squeeze? Crowbar in some buttock squeezes. I might have a few extra pebbles for that. Ease it round and come back to the centre, pause in the middle. That's quite significant. So ease to your comfortable range, come straight back, pause in the middle. Don't stay around there. Okay, the third movement of the trunk is the hey big extender. It's actually the back extension, but we've given it a Shirley Bassey code name, hey big extender. And this one is about lifting up to upright posture, but adding in, can you squeeze in an extend in the top end? There's no lean, keep the weight even across the buttocks. If I turn sideways in my chair so you can see here, so I lift up and then extend, and it's kind of happening from the mid and upper here. So we're mobilising the spine here, and we're involving all the muscles in the back end that lift and open the postures, and that's generally what we want to optimise balance positions and breathing. Here we go, use external support. Have a double check. As I take the big extender at the top end, just have a glance at hip level here. Nothing is moving. There's no thrusting. And this little unlock of the knee can really help support that strong base position down in the bottom end. And all of these trunk movements, 4 or 5 of these, ease your way in and out. How are we doing? We're down to the last trio, which is the ankles, feet and toes. If ankles, feet and toes or lower limb not on your radar, go back round those top 2 trios. Either shoulder, head, neck and trunk again. And maybe crowbar in a little bit of extra circ boost with the additional marching arms, for example, while I put in ankles, feet and toes. So seated options for ankle, feet and toes. Forward in the chair, you might want to try this one. It's that, it's really an extension of the circulation boosting activity that we've just done. Do check that you're remaining lifted as you do that. Sorry, I'll do this leg so you can see. But this time we're really trying to get the ankles to move. So 5-ish on those, one side and then the other. If that gives you discomfort in the hips, generally it's if you're taller, shall we say. Here's the other alternative, is to take it here. So we've got the same action of the ankle, but without the hip movement. Keep the foot fairly low. If the leg's too straight, you're going to put on a stretch. We don't really want that. You know what I'm going to say, involve the toes, involve the toes. Here's the standing options. Of course, in stand, there's more going on from supporting leg. So I've got some weight, my body weight going through the hip here. Use external support to give you that confidence to stand up taller. And there's the ankle movement. If I turn sideways so you can see. Can you see it stays slightly in front? I'm lifting the knee from the hip so I can get the toe there instead. Doing both sides, of course. And then put in some extra ankle raises. Involves the toes a bit more. You might want to crowbar in a few up and downs here, just to really add in some extra stuff for ankles, feet and toes to prepare them for your day. Or we can put in some deliberate strides. This is how we use the ankles, feet and toes in walking, along with the hips, along with the trunk. And then to finish, as always, some shirt offs to involve bringing those trunk movements together. And the finale, perhaps, is the Beck's hug with these controlled open and close. So we've got some extension in the arms, shoulder blades again. And this is how all those movements come together. I'm going to give myself a few pebbles. Clocking up my tally of movements in my egg winner's cup, and that is it. All right, done. First one in the bag. You have got Kelsey back with you at noon. I'm back with you on a double whammy at 4 p.m. Dave's on day job stuff today, so I'll be seeing how far he's gotten with that sway. So I'll have to stick my head in that and see what he's done with that. And also I'll see you back here at 4, and you got Kels at noon. Complete joy as ever. Go deploy all of that. Go forth, movement snackers, into your Thursday.